Oedogonium, sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction means fusion of gametes. Male and female gametes are fused to form diploid zygote is called sexual reproduction. In Oedogonium, the sexual reproduction mainly done by two types. One is macrandrous reproduction. Second one is non-androus reproduction. Macrandrous reproduction, non-androus reproduction. Macrandrous means the reproductive organs like oogonium, antheridium. Oogonium is a female reproductive organ of Oedogonium. Antheridium is a male reproductive organ of Oedogonium. The oogonium, antheridium reproductive organs are developed on the single filament is called macrandrous reproduction. See, in the non-androus reproduction, the non-androus male reproductive organs, non-andria means dwarf male reproductive organs. Dwarf male reproductive organs are specially developed in this reproduction, in this sexual reproduction, that called non-androus sexual reproduction, non-androus reproduction. Now, from these two types of reproductions, we discussed today macrandrous and after non-androus. See, macrandrous reproduction. What is mean of macrandrous means the female reproductive organ, oogonium, male reproductive of organ, antheridium. Antheridium and oogonium are developed on the single filament called macrandrous sexual reproduction. Macrandrous sexual reproduction. See, it is the macrandrous sexual reproduction antheridium development diagram. See, antheridium is the male reproductive organ of Oedogonium. Antheridium is a male reproductive organ of Oedogonium. At matured stage, only cap cells act as a antheridium. Cap cells act as a antheridium. Antheridium mother cell develops from cap cells only. Antheridium develops from cap cells only. So antheridiums are the male reproductive organs. They are developed by or from cap cells. See, antheridium mother cell containing one haploid nucleus initially. It participated in the mitotic division to form two nuclei. One nucleus moves to upside and one nucleus present at the lower part of antheridium mother cell. Then upper nucleus covered with one cell wall, or between the two nuclei one cell wall is present. Finally, it converts into cell. The small cell is called young antheridia. And a mother antheridial nucleus again participated in the mitotic division to form two nuclei. One nucleus moves to upside of antheridium mother cell. It converts into young antheridia. And another antheridium mother cell continuously participated in the mitotic divisions to form more number of young antheridia. From each antheridium or each antheridial mother cell, more number of antheridia, young antheridiums are developed. Each antheridium contains one haploid nucleus. That haploid nucleus of antheridium participated in the mitotic division to form two male gametes. Each antheridium, two male gametes are developed. See, more number of antheridiums are developed from the antheridial mother cell. Each antheridium containing a haploid nucleus, that haploid nucleus antheridium participated in the mitotic division to form two male gametes. The two male gametes are also called antheriozoids. At matured stage, antheriozoids are comes out from the antheridium. Initially, the antheriozoids are covered with vesicle. Each antheriozoids look like a juice spore-like structure. The juice spore-like structure antheriozoids are developed. The juice spores are large in size, but antheriozoids are small in size. They are motile in condition. They containing more number of flagella with haploid nucleus. At matured stage of antheridium, produce antheriozoids. Antheriozoids are comes out from the antheridium. They are in motile condition. They are easily swim in rainwater to reach oogonium for the fertilization. And the next development is oogonium. Oogonium is a female reproductive organ of Oedogonium. See, here also cap cells act as a oogonium. Cap cells are developed into swollen structure. The swollen structure particles are called oogonium. Oogonium are female reproductive organs of Oedogonium. Oogonium is enlarged size. It covered with oogonial wall. Below the oogonial wall, protoplast is present. The protoplast matured stage convert into egg-like or ball-like structure. It containing two major parts. One is colorless spot. That colorless spot is called a receptive spot. Receptive spot means male gametes are received by this area only. So this spot is called receptive spot. And the remaining part is green in color. It containing haploid nucleus, chloroplast, pyrenoids. These are the egg structure. And below the cap cell, suffultary cell or basal cell is present. Initially, cap cell participated in the division to form suffultary cells and oogonium cell. Oogonium is swollen structure. It containing one haploid female gametophyte cell, nucleus, and on this gametophyte or egg receptive spot is present. Finally, the male gametes or antheriozoids are received by the receptive spot and to form diploid zygote. It is the process of macroandrous reproduction. It is the process of macroandrous sexual reproduction. In this macroandrous, oogonium, antheridiums are developed on the same filament called macroandrous. By the macroandrous reproduction, at end diploid zygote is formed in the oogonium. And the second one is non-androus reproduction. Non-androus means the specialized male reproductive organs developed on the dwarf male filaments called non-androus. The dwarf male filaments developed on the oogonium is called gynandrous. Gynandrous reproduction. If the dwarf male non-andria filaments developed in individual position, independent position called idiandrous. Non-androus means dwarf male filaments are developed. The dwarf male filaments are developed in the sexual reproduction is called non-androus sexual reproduction. That non-andriums developed on the oogonium. Non-andriums are developed on the oogonium is called gynandrous. If the non-andriums developed independent is called idiandrous. See, idiandrous reproduction. First one is gynandrous. See children, it is the gynandrous reproduction including idiandrous also. See, in antheridial filament, in oogonium, swollen structure oogonium containing dwarf male filaments. The dwarf male filaments are called non-andrial filaments. These are developed by the antheriozoids. Initially, capsules are produced antherozoids. The antherozoids are androsporangia produce androspores. The androspores are released from the antheridium. They are freely swim in water and attached at the basal part of oogonium. Basal part of oogonium. What is the basal part of oogonium? Suffultatory cell or supporting cell. See, male gametes. The male gametes are released from the antheridium. That androsporangia, antheridium is also called androsporangia. That androsporangia produce androspores. That androspores cannot fuse with egg nucleus, oogonium nucleus. That androspores are attached with the basal part of oogonium cell. That androspores attached with suffultatory cell or supporting cell. That androspores develop into a dwarf male filament. The dwarf male filament containing androspores. They produce more number of antheridium on the dwarf male filament. From all dwarf male filament, more number of antheridiums are present. From these antheridiums, male gametes, antheriozoids are developed. That antheriozoids are released from the antheridium and they received by the receptive spot. Male gametes or antheriozoids enter into the oogonium and fuse with the egg nucleus to form diploid zygote, to form oospore. It is the gynandrous reproduction. Gynandrous means dwarf male filaments, specially developed dwarf male filaments on the oogonium or basal part of oogonium is called gynandrous reproduction. See, androsporangia produce male gametes. Generally, the male gametes fuse with egg nucleus or oogonium nucleus. But in non-androus, that male gametes are also called androspores. That androspores cannot fuse with egg cell or oogonium cell. That androspore attached with the basal part of oogonium. Here it is androspore fused with or attached with the basal part of oogonium. It fused with the suffultatory cells or supporting cell. And then develop into, means the androspores develop into a small dwarf male filament. The small dwarf male filaments are called nonandria. That nonandria containing more number of antheridium. From each antheridium, antheriozoids are developed. That antheriozoids are received by the receptive hyphae, receptive spot of oogonium and fuse with egg nucleus to form diploid zygote is called oospore. It is the gynandrous. In idiandrous, oogonium is developed on the one filament. Nonandriums are developed independently. See, androsporangia produced androspores. That androspores develop into new dwarf male filament. See, before the development, androspores are loses their flagella and attached with the basal part, substrate. The basal cell, it is in colorless. And above the basal cell, antheridias are developed. Antheridium are developed. More number of antheridia is called antheridia. From each antheridium, two antheriozoids are developed. See, oogonium is developed on the another filament of Oedogonium. Nonandria developed on independently. The nonandria developed independently is called idiandrous. From this idiandrous, antheriozoids are released. The antheriozoids are directly fused with oogonium nucleus to form diploid zygote. See, by the three types of fertilization, macrandrous, gynandrous, idiandrous, by these three types of fertilization, oospore, zygote is formed in the oogonium. See, zygote development by the fusion of antheriozoids and female nucleus, egg cell to form diploid zygote. The diploid zygote is participated in the meiotic division to form 4 haploid cells. The 4 haploid cells are developed into zoomeospores. Zoomeospores means they are developed by the reduction division of zygote, reduction division of oospore. Zoomeospores are similar to zoospore-like structure. They containing flagella and they are easily swim in water. Before the development, the zoomeospores loses their flagella and attached with the basal part. See, colorless part is also present on the zoomeospore. The colorless part is attached on the basal part of the substrate. It acts as a basal cell, and above the basal cell, green color cell is present. It participated in the cell divisions. By the cell division, young filament is developed in the Oedogonium. See, it is the zygote development. By the macroandrous reproduction, gynandrous reproduction, idiandrous reproduction. By the three types of reproductions, diploid zygote is formed. The diploid zygote develop into zoomeospores by the reduction division. Each zoomeospores develop into young Oedogonium of filament. And the life cycle. Life cycle is haploid life cycle. Life cycle is haploid condition. See, here it is on this board. Macroandrous monoecious filament. Monoecious filament containing oogonium and antheridium on the same filament. Antheridium produce antheriozoids. Oogonium produce eggs. They are participated in the sexual reproduction, fertilization, called zygote. Zygote participated in the meiosis division to form zoomeospores. Zoomeospores develop into germination. They develop into macroandrous monoecious filament. See, it is the sexual reproduction. At the same time, asexual reproduction. Zoomeospores develop into monoecious of macroandrous reproduction filament, and macroandrous filaments are also participate in asexual reproduction by the zoosporangium. They produce zoospores. They develop into germination, and they develop into macroandrous filament. It is the macroandrous type of reproduction. And the next one, gynandrous, idiandrous. Gynandrous, idiandrous. See, children, in these all types of reproduction, asexual is common. Asexual reproduction done by the zoosporangium. They produce zoospores. Zoospores develop into, again, Oedogonium. Zoosporangium, zoospores, germination, and Oedogonium. In non-androus type of gynandrous species, see, here it is, female reproductive organ is called oogonium. On the lateral side, androsporangium is developed. Androsporangium produced androspores. They are germination on the oogonium wall. They develop into nonandria. Nonandria produced antheridium. Antheridium produced antheriozoids. Antheriozoids are fused with the egg nucleus of oogonium to form syngamy or fertilization, to form zygote. Zygote participates in the meiosis division to form zoomeospores. Zoomeospores develop into or germination into nonandrous of Oedogonium. And the second one is idiandrous. Idiandrous means male reproductive organs called idiandrous. Androsporangium produced filament from the antheridium. Androspores germinated as a non-androus filament, not on the oogonium. They are developed independently. The non-androus filaments produced antheridium. Antheridium produced antheriozoids. At the same time, on the filament, female reproductive, small and female reproductive organs are developed. They called oogonium. Oogonium develop into egg fused with antheriozoids to form fertilization, to form diploid zygote. The diploid zygote participated in the meiosis division. They develop into zoomeospores. Zoomeospores develop into or germinate into nonandrous of Oedogonium. It is the types of reproductions, types of the life cycles. In macroandrous, in gynandrous, in idiandrous, haploid life cycles are present. Haploid means we can identify it, we can observe the total life cycle except zygote. Only zygote is in diploid condition. Remaining all phases, remaining all stages are in haploid condition. So this type of life cycles are called haploid life cycles.